Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Imagination Megapark. Now, in the last episode I worked on the Desert of Doom here. Let me zoom in a bit. And here I added this Raptor caravan ride. Now the ride travels all around the desert. And I think with this we already filled out quite a big area. And I also added this start to the bandit town. Now, for this episode, I actually want to do some more work on the neighboring area, which is of course the lava lands. Now, we already have a big mountain here. In this episode, I actually want to make this look more like a volcano. So I'll do some work here on the summit, make a nice path for the guests to go around. I also want to upgrade the path that actually leads up to the summit. So right now it's just a single path here, and it just doesn't look very majestic. So I want to improve that, and I might actually also add a ride here, which allows the guests to get up the mountain more easily. And finally, I think I'm also going to add a path over here, leading up from the desert, up to the mountain. And maybe we can also do a path on this side, but I'll have to see if I can still fit that in the episode. And the last thing I want to do is actually add a ride here on the summit, one that dives into the mountain. I think it will be very exciting. Anyway, before I do any of that, I think I'll first name 3 more handymen after several of the commenters that commented on the last Imagine Megapark video. So let's do that first. Alright, the Amazing Raccoon, Sign of Mars and Simple Rants 23. You are all now wandering around in a park as a handyman, and you will forever be sweeping vomit off the paths. Alright, that was enough intro, I think. Let's get building. Okay, as you can see, the mountain now has more of a shape on top, or a shape that looks more like a volcano at least. As you can see, I made the land higher here. Kind of looks kind of like a ring, and here on the inside I will fill it with lots of lava. Now I will not fully fill it with this bubbling goo and flames, because that will probably cause an overload of animations on the same screen. So I'll just make it more look like a landscape like this, with still lots of lava, but also some stuff in between. Also some rides, probably some rocks, stuff like that. And I think that will also give me the opportunity to add some more rides here in between. Now, the next thing that I want to do in this park is actually to upgrade this path here a little bit. I want to make it look more like a main path that leads up, and in the meantime I'll also build a ride here that will lead up and down the mountain. Alright, I've now made the path that leads up here a little bit nicer. It's a bit wider in most parts. So I put some of these volcano pieces in between. So I think this entrance to the summit actually looks a lot nicer now. And of course something which I also built now is this ride which leads up to the summit. So as you can see, it's a powered ride and I put it in shuttle mode. So yeah, one way it leads up, and the guests who enter from here enter the same trains, but they go backwards and down. And I try to make it so that it doesn't really go too fast, because you can imagine it would pick up quite a lot of speed while going down. So I changed the maximum speed of the ride a little bit with the ride vehicle editor plugin, and I also put some brakes here at the end, just to make the braking at the end a little bit more gradual. But yeah, I think this is a really fun way for the guests to get up and down the mountain. I think it's definitely a really cool new ride for this area. You can watch it go down. Yeah, I think this would be quite a fun ride to be in my park. Alright, I haven't made a path up the mountain yet, but I will still do that. You will see me do that in the next time lapse. And something which I still really want to do is actually build a ride here on the summit. It will go in this area here, I think, and it will actually allow guests to travel deep into the volcano. And of course, such a thing will only work in Imagination Megapark. Alright, let's get building. Okay, we now have a ride which dives into the volcano. You can see it here. There's these submarine vehicles. It's actually a big train of these submarine vehicles, and with the ride vehicle editor I changed the spacing between them to be a little bit bigger. And there's also a little shoestring underground to make sure that these trains travel around the track correctly. Yeah, I think it's a really fun ride, and definitely, yeah, it's definitely something which I think is a nice addition to the summit of this volcano. Yeah, I think this is a really nice start to the summit. We now have two stations, or two different rides on the summit actually. So we have this air balloon ride. I also had to make sure that this path didn't intersect the air balloon or this ride. So I lowered the path over here a little bit. And it now actually passes right next to here. So I think that's really cool. Oh yeah, I also added another entertainer over here. So I'll quickly name him after one of my new patrons. So thanks a lot, Kazrak, for joining my Patreon. It's really appreciated, and thanks for the support. Now, if you're a Patreon member, then in the past episodes I included one or more patrons as an entertainer in the park in every episode. So there's a good chance that you will already be in the park. And if not, then just keep waiting patiently for the next episodes. And if you also want to support me on Patreon, you can find a link in the video description. Alright, I think we did some really fun additions in the park in this episode. So a recap, I created this path here leading up the summit. I created another path here to the side. And also made this ride over here, which actually takes guests from the lower part up to the top of the summit. And I put it in shuttle mode, so it actually goes back and forth, and it does the reverse section backwards. I think that that looks pretty funny. Definitely something worthy of being in my Imagination Megapark. And finally, I made this path all around the summit. And I started working a bit here on the top, and I added this ride which actually dives deep into the volcano. You can see it going here. Now, I didn't actually decorate it underground here. Maybe I'll do it later, but I probably won't, since you will also see other stuff underground here which looks a bit silly. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress. I think it will be really fun to end this episode by taking a ride on this shuttle coaster that takes guests up and down. Alright, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a like. It would really help out my channel, and it would make me really happy if you did that. And I'll see you again in the next video. See you later.